The drive, my drive come from me just being a hustler. Like I always been a hustler. Like if I ain't got it, I'm gonna go get it. And then on top of that, I just have like a strong. I'm not the type to give up. Like I want to prove myself to myself. Like I want to, I got in this game and I started doing this, and I just can't stop until I get to where I want to be. Like until I'm able to buy a house and buy this and family stable, then I'll be like, still won't give up, but I'll be like, okay, I did what I came to do. I gotta complete the mission. So what I got coming up next right now, I'm definitely getting to acting. I'm working on some live performances, like virtually, and then on top of that, I'm working on my deluxe. I just dropped the 103 AM project, but I'm working on the deluxe right now, and I'm just working on getting back to it. I also got Rolling Loud. I got the Welcome to the West Festival, so those are two big shows that I'm looking forward to right now. Rolling Loud, I got a crazy set I'm working on, so make sure everybody tune in to that. I'm actually working on, well, it's not official yet, but it will be. I'm actually working on putting the pieces together to do a real documentary, like, because I feel like a lot of people don't really know me. Like, I'm not too boisterous on everything, so a lot of people don't really know how I feel, who I am. So I'm working on a documentary just to show from jump, how everything started, the background behind my city, the Wilmington norms, and where I grew up at. I want to show the real behind it. So I'm working on that for sure. I think that'd be dope. I probably have put that out this fall. Won't be this summer, but this fall, the documentary for sure. So yeah, I got the distribution with Empire, basically a partnership, Rock Solid and Empire 50-50. I love Empire. I'm definitely, looking outside the box and looking at my options. But I'm good. Like we family, me and Empire family definitely. And it's just like whatever works for me, what I feel is going to work for me in the future. I can't say right now because everything is going smooth, but I'm definitely looking at my options and just seeing what's really best for me in the long run. So far, it's been a good run with Empire. I think I've been with them about 2 years. I did 3 projects with them. 1 was an EP, 2 was a full project. So it's definitely, I think it's time I learned the ropes. Like, when I got with Empire, the first thing Tina told me was, this is like high school getting to college. Or this is like college going to the pros. So you kind of need to learn the business here, and then whatever you feel you need to do after that is, So that's where I'm at right now. I feel like I've learned the business, I've studied, I feel like I took a lot in. And it's time if it's time for me to go branch off, I will branch, but if not, I'm staying independent for sure. So Tina Davis is the vice president at Empire. She was one of the main people that brought up somebody like Chris Brown and many more, but Chris Brown is the person that comes to mind right now. She's one of my favorite people in the industry. Shout out to Tina Davis. Yeah, so Rock Solid is me and my dad label. So when I first started doing music, my brother, the one that's in jail, he always told me, like, make sure you sign to yourself first. And I'm like, you're right. And me and my dad was already on that. So my dad his name is Rock. So, Rock Solid, because a lot of people, we consider ourselves solid. Everybody considers themselves solid. So we like Rock Solid. 50-50, so I own 50 and he owns 50. And so my dad, he played a big part of everything. Me and my dad, we always been tight since I was younger. He get on my nerves sometimes, like any other dad, he get on my nerves, we fight. We actually more like friends other than daughter and dad. So he stepped in. At a time he stepped in, I was like at a low point where I wanted to do music, but I didn't know where to go about it. And like, he didn't know nothing about the music either. So what we did was we learned everything side by side. Like a lot of stuff was new to us, but we learned it side by side. Like I didn't know more than him, he didn't know more than me. But like through the years, we both developed the intelligence on the industry about like everything we needed to know. And yeah, so right now, since we got Rock Solid, we looking at signing some producers. Starting off with producers and then going to artists. And yeah, my dad, he actually did music when I was younger. He tried to put me in the studio, but he didn't do music like, back in the days, it was like you rap for your hood. But it's still like that, but it was like really just rap for the hood. Like nobody outside the hood is hearing it. So that's where he was at with it. And he supported me from day one. You gotta have OGs around you. All the time. To me, you gotta have older people that's here with it. You gotta have them around you. I keep a lot of OGs around me. Cause even my dad, when he was younger, he was one of those dudes that was like 15, but hanging out with the OGs, the 30-year-olds. So he always been an old head. I always been an old head. Like out of all my peers, I act the oldest. Like, they want to go to the club and this and that. I be like, I'm chilling. I be with the old heads. That's where my music taste come from. And, you know, it's just they keep you grounded. You got some old heads that's knuckleheads. You like, not every OG is a smart. They still ain't learned their lesson, but it's a lot of OGs that seen where you going and being where you going, so they gonna correct you when you're wrong. So I feel like, especially with an artist, you got so many sharks in this game, you got to keep them grounded people that been here before. So I'm definitely just gonna let everybody know about the tape. So yeah, 103 AM out now on all platforms. Please make sure you go check it out. Soul Ties is a single. Got a record with Young Blue. We're gonna push the videos and stay tuned for the deluxe. So the artwork for my project, 103 AM, my cousin Brittany did it. Her Instagram is Create Love, LUV. So Create LUV. It was actually one of her first, what is that called? Digital paintings. And she did pretty amazing to me, you know. I told her where I was at with the music, like where my mind was at, and the significance behind the number 103, which is one of my angel numbers that I feel. And she took it. I actually drew the picture out first. No, I drew the picture out and then I took a picture. So this picture is actually from a picture of me sitting on the couch. I sat on the couch with a book in my hand. I told her, like, look, just put me on top of the city. And she did what she had to do. So shout out to Brittany for this, man. Make sure y'all see that.